November the 29th, 2020. Guys, you're looking at the CME tracker on our website at bpearthwatch.com, and we've had a very large explosion off the sun this morning. It is not Earth facing, and if you'll look at the top of this, the Earth is represented by the yellow dots. So from the eastern or the left limb of the sun, and we've got about 3 of these sunspots coming around on us now. This was the largest in over 3 years, and we had a solar flare, coronal mass ejection. Then I'll show you on the SDO, it was also what's called a Hydra flare. Notice we're on the 28th here, about to come into the 29th. Watch. We'll look at it on a couple of different images there. Now, going into the same satellite with the LASCO C2 images. These are spectacular. This gives you a very close-up idea of what's happening. Now, the sun is behind what's called an occulter disk, and it's like holding your hand up over your eyes if you're looking up to block the sun. And the sun is the size of the white circle. Now, this is the blast. Look at that, larger than the sun itself as it blasts out into space. We're very fortunate this one was not directly Earth facing, but this sunspot is coming around towards us as well as a couple more. But look at that. Also, watch the opposite side of the sun react to that explosion. Check that out, guys. Very powerful. We're getting definitely into solar cycle 25 and things are heating up, but we're told even in the book of Revelation the sun is going to play a part, and in the book of Malachi. Now, switching to the Solar Dynamics Observatory, these are using filters not to block the sun but to dim it down and show us different components. You've got 12 cameras on the SDO satellite itself. And watch as we come into the 29th here on the bottom left. Right there, we saw the flash, and then you're going to see what's called a Hydra flare rise. And what that is when you have a solar flare and a filament release like that. Here's your flare. Notice that X cross right there, and then this ribbon. Is when that flare causes CME. A lot of the particles will pull back into the solar surface due to the magnetic canopy. When that collapses back into the surface of the sun, you see the secondary Hydra flare right there. Guys, and just to realize how large this is compared to our planet, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. But now this is a different satellite off to the back right side of the sun, and it's showing the flare that caused this. There's 4 in a line. We're facing the largest one here that you see on the right, guys. That one you can see from the SDO, the Earth-facing images. But here is a solar flare class right there. You can see you're in the M. Over on the left, the X, which is in the red, is the strongest series of flares. But this was a very powerful M4.4, if I'm not mistaken. Check it out. So we're getting into a time of great troubles on this planet, but there's a plan. Now, it's saying the major solar flare, the biggest flare in more than 3 years, occurred today, November 29th at 13:11 UT. The M4.4 category eruption produced a shortwave radio blackout over the South Atlantic and hurled a significant coronal mass ejection, or CME, into space. The storm cloud will not hit Earth. The source of the flare is an unnumbered sunspot just behind the sun's eastern limb. That's what we were looking at on the green stereo images. Not yet facing our planet. Also, guys, just to point this out, there is a penumbral lunar eclipse tonight, or early in the morning. The full moon will lose some of its luster on Monday morning, November 30th. Now, this Earth's shadow, as it sweeps across the lunar disk, they're saying it will be seen from North America and the Pacific Ocean, including Hawaii. Guys, go to spaceweather.com. That's a link on our website. There's some graphics about this, but it'd be interesting. It's going to happen early in the morning. But guys, we got to keep an eye on the sunspots coming around towards the Earth-facing side of the sun right now. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.